Good afternoon, everybody. Chris Allen here with your weather blast for this Wednesday, first day of June. It's hard to believe June is already here, and it's here with heat and humidity, kind of like the end of July, early August. It's also the beginning of the Atlantic hurricane season, which we'll talk more about in just a minute. Let's go to Greenville. This is one of our newer AAA Systems weather cams on the square in Greenville, and as of 2:30, this is the way it looks. Pretty blue sky, a few puffy cumulus clouds, not a bad day in Greenville, Muhlenberg County. You see in the foreground the old Muhlenberg County Courthouse, which is still undergoing renovation, and the brand new one, which is right down the street from it there. Nice days, those, cumulus clouds in the blue sky, cold front trying to work its way through the area, a very weak one. Clouds may be all that some of you see. Some of you may get an isolated shower, but I think the better chance of that is going to be east of I-65 as we get on into the afternoon. That seems to be where there may be just enough instability with lift provided by that front that we could see some, very few isolated showers. Well, let's take a look at Mesonet network temps. The current temperatures, upper 80s, 90s, low 90s across the area. But let's throw in the dew points. We've been talking a lot about this, and you say, what in the heck is a dew point? A dew point is just another temperature that we take of the atmosphere, the amount of moisture that's in the air. And when we see dew points like these, upper 60s, low 70s, well, that means there's a very thick, humid, sticky air mass, and we certainly have that. A little refreshingly less humid, though, west of us. The reason why? That weak cold front making its way through the area, taking some of that stickiness out of the air, but there's still enough out there. And when you combine air temperature with the dew points, well, you get the heat index, and this is the heat index outlook, or the actual report now, as we're looking at about 2:30 this afternoon. And yeah, lots of a low 90s central and east, but upper 80s, low 90s to around 90 back to the west. That's where that little weak cold front has made its way through. And it's made a little bit of a difference, but you're not going to see a big difference. This afternoon, this evening may be more comfortable than it was yesterday, and certainly it's going to be more comfortable than in the coming days, as you'll see. Now, rainfall, well, slim to none. Here's a look at the QPF. That's the quantitative precipitation forecast. 5-day outlook from now through 12Z Tuesday, which or Monday, I should say, 7 a.m. Monday. And there's just not a lot of rain to be had here. It's going to go north, and it's going to go east. And it's going to miss us altogether here in southern Kentucky. Again, only isolated showers at best. Here's a look at the map features here. 6Z, which is 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. The front is east of us, that little weak front. High pressure begins to build back in quickly after this little weak front. So the front doesn't have a whole lot to work with. We've got high pressure to the east of it, high pressure ridge to the west. It's just barely there. Here's a look at the 0Z forecast map, 7 p.m. Thursday evening. And the high pressure ridge builds even stronger over the area. But as the center of that blue H, that's the center of high pressure that you're looking at, as it moves southeast, that means a much warmer flow for us, and that's when things are really going to heat up as we get on into the weekend. Told you about this was the beginning of the Atlantic hurricane season for 2011. Today, the first day. It runs all the way through November 30th. That's the last day. It's my birthday. No significance whatsoever, except it is the last day of the Atlantic hurricane season. I want to show you this map here, and this is the from the National Hurricane Center. They already have their eye on a couple of little places there. You see a low-pressure center near Daytona Beach, Florida. That, they're saying, only has about a 20 to maybe 30% chance of forming into something tropical. That's actually a little cluster of thunderstorms that was in the New England states a couple of days ago. It's been wandering around in the Atlantic and has floated down toward Florida because of high pressure. That high pressure center west of that has forced that area of thunderstorms down back toward Florida. That's going to cross Florida and go into the Gulf of Mexico, but even there it's not forecast to really develop into anything, but they are watching it. They're actually sending out a reconnaissance to take a look at it. And then the second area is in the west central Caribbean, about a 10% chance of it forming into something. But It is the beginning of hurricane season. Just want you to know today's the first official day, goes all the way through November 30th. And we will be tracking those hurricanes as well, because some of those, supposed to be an above-average year, and some of those could very well move, remnants of hurricanes move through Kentucky. It's happened before. Remember Ike? Remember Katrina? Yeah. Those brought a lot of wind and rain and tornadoes to this area, so got to watch out for that stuff. All right, here's a look at the 7-day forecast extended. Oh, boy. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Some of you will love this, though. If you're really into summer, 94s and 96s. 96 on Saturday? Youch. There's going to be a lot of people outdoors with that 400-mile yard sale, the Glasgow Highland Games, Crusade for Children. We've got Relay for Life at Bowling Green High School. There's a bunch of stuff going on. Rainfall chances, as you see, very minimal, say 5 to 10%, that somebody somewhere in our viewing area may get a pop-up shower or thunderstorm in the late afternoon, but that's about it. Continued hot and humid until maybe the end of next week, when we do see some signs that things will kind of reset. But that could change. Long-range forecast, never trust them. Never trust them. Never trust them. Okay, that's it. Shoutcast or Weather Shouts anytime. I'll have a fresh podcast by 4:30 tomorrow morning. And, of course, my blog updates and all that kind of stuff, feeds Facebook and Twitter and all that cool stuff. In the meantime, know the weather before it knows you. This is Chris Allen with your Weather Blast for this Wednesday, June 1st. God bless.